This is breaking news, really. Walk me through it a little bit, because I'm just hearing about this.
Hey guys, welcome back to Library of Wealth. Today we have Bitcoin bull Max Keiser on the Max and STACY report on the scams occurring in the crypto industry today. Keiser sees that all the altcoiners are milking markets, then moving far afield to economies that haven't heard of what's been occurring in these sectors. Keiser believes that the nature of man is to create a fake coin used to take money from someone so they can buy Bitcoin. Keiser has noticed that sticking with Bitcoin was an excellent move for El Salvador as their business is off the charts, and that stepping out of the Bitcoin space is inviting a world of pain. Let's watch Max Keiser on the Max and STACY report as he gives us his take on all things Bitcoin and what we can expect in the current volatile crypto market. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content we do here on this channel. Let's get right into the video.
The rating agencies, as you are alluding to, are politicized. And so if you understand that, you can understand that a Moody's or an S&P is giving El Salvador a penalty rating due to political considerations, not based on the facts on the ground, not based on the numbers. But at some point, as you're saying, the numbers are so compelling that they can't lie anymore. First ever Bitcoin diplomat in the world. You're a Bitcoin maximalist. What is your orange pill story? When did you get the orange pill? How did it come to you?
So the first time I bought Bitcoin, or really the first time I heard about Bitcoin, was in the beginning of 2018. When you look at developed countries and what they're doing now, printing billions of money of currency and essentially doing what put us in this position of high inflation, really crappy interest rates. They now see El Salvador as really the opportunity, some sort of haven to just come here and invest. And now they don't care that much about the risk, because the risk is no longer there. It's a safe country. You can walk outside, nothing is gonna happen to you. 4 a.m., whatever time you wanna walk outside, you can. The government is it facilitates foreign direct investments in such a way that I haven't seen any other country do this. Like, I've invested in the US for, my entire career, and I never saw a government official come with me and be like, okay, we're gonna help you. We're gonna, facilitate everything you wanna do in the country.
This is breaking news, really. Walk me through it a little bit, because I'm just hearing about this. So in other words, it's a relationship between El Salvador and Lugano, Switzerland?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so the country of El Salvador is effectively opening up a relationship with Lugano, kind of a sister Bitcoin city, because they recently made Bitcoin legal as well.
Absolutely. I think some of the synergies and cooperations that we might look out for, El Salvador has always tried to be its own sovereign country, and obviously Switzerland has the greatest sovereignty in all of human history. So it's amazing to be able to match with them and be on this sort of the same playing field with them, trying to learn from them what they do and how they are able to make their own decisions without really caring about what the US, what the IMF, what the World Bank might say. That is true sovereignty. What Switzerland has is true sovereignty. So hopefully we can attract some of that way of thinking, some of that, actual freedom to choose, freedom to choose the path of your country. We know that El Salvador's government is really striving for that sort of next step, to be more like Switzerland, to be more free. And hopefully this is the step to achieve that.
A lot of times I just think about El Salvador, I was in banking myself. It's a turnaround situation. A lot of times you meet up with corporations or even countries. I know in Bogota, for example, or Medellin, those were cities that were beaten up pretty badly. They cleaned themselves up and they became boom towns. This is kind of in that model where you're taking a country that's had 20, 30 years of gang wars, and before that the Civil War, in comes a visionary leader, and now it's a boom times. Really, it's a turnaround situation. So as a banker, you're in Switzerland. Isn't this the message it's a pretty easy sell when you're talking to institutional people and big money. It's like, it's a turnaround situation, right? It's an easy pitch.
It's a Renaissance 2.0.
El Salvador is roughly a $28 billion economy. My understanding is that the gangs are extorting something like $6 billion a year. Nickel and diming pupusa sellers to the tune of $6 billion a year. The gangs have effectively been shut down. Is it correct for me to say that $6 billion in cash essentially has been injected into this $28 billion economy?
I think that would be the minimum of what is injected into the economy. You know, the economy tends to be a very compounding financial sector if you want to look at it
Okay,
as a,
so
as
the
a
second
company.
quarter, they came in with a robust growth. Again, close to 3%. They did 10.3% last year. They're on track. They're not going to have a recession this year. They're going to have another boom year.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm convinced that by the end of this year, when we see all of the countries starting to suffer the consequences for their decisions in terms of monetary policy, fiscal policy, we're going to see El Salvador just jump above them, and El Salvador become the greatest growing country in the entire world, because it's very simple. We had a revenue stream that wasn't present before, and now it is present. And people, and the government especially, is able to use those funds to fund hospitals, fund roads, fund schools, fund a number of things, investment opportunities. This will bring just a compounding effect on the growth of El Salvador.
Right, they paid down some of their sovereign debt recently.
Yeah, exactly. As El Salvador becomes less leveraged, less dependent on foreign entities that manage their credit score, that manage these risk factors, or, you know, the S&P, Moody's, and everything that has always kind of threatened El Salvador with a low credit rating. Now you're not going to see that, because you have a country that is going to grow yearly 10, 12%. And then how is a rating agency going to come and say, no, you know, you should not invest in El Salvador? Essentially telling investors, look, here's a massive opportunity, don't go for that opportunity.
There's some interesting play there. They've got to say, you know what, we got to cop to the truth here. This is a fast growing economy. And then by then it's too late. Now you've already seen real estate prices double and triple, and GDP is now 60 billion, now 28 billion by the time they catch on to it.
Partnering with a country like Switzerland that is known for their economic stability, their amazing economic growth, their amazing management of fiscal and monetary policy, I think we can get some insight on that and even make El Salvador way better than that.
Right, so you're benchmarking Switzerland in terms of what they're doing and trying to import that best practices for corporations and things like that. Now, going the other way, El Salvador to Lugano, you're saying that obviously the Bitcoin message is strong, so you're hoping to have that spread in Switzerland.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they have already done, well, Lugano in particular has done a fantastic job while hosting the Lugano Plan B conference. And earlier this month, there were the reports of the McDonald's starting accepting Bitcoins there. And obviously this is going to continue expanding. They also have a fantastic array of private companies that work in Bitcoin, work in using Tether. And all of these, you know, this is what we want to attract.
Keiser says the boomers essentially live off of pollution, while this new generation understands Bitcoin's perfect collateral. The next generation knows that Bitcoin has long-term value and that it will aid in their general well-being. He has seen that the people of El Salvador save their Bitcoin because they understand that it has a future, and there will come a time when its purchasing power will dramatically increase. Paper has, in essence, been destroyed by rampant money printing. Gold offers a few advantages over fiat, as it's mainly measured in weight, though there is a risk of fraud. Bitcoin is superior to both, as it's authenticated by itself through mathematics and encryption. What do you guys think of Max Keiser's opinion on the future purchasing power of Bitcoin? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is Library of Wealth. We'll see you in the next video.